Hi, Angelica here, the 3D printer girl from 3dprintertech.com. So today we'll make some progress and work on the Y idler. And so let's get started. What you'll need are the two 300 aluminum extrusions, the Y idler printed part, bolt, nut, 2 bearings, 4 washers, 4 of the Phillips head M5s with washers, and 8 T-slot nuts. Okay, so first what we'll do is we'll take the printed part, the 2 bearings, put a washer on each side, and it's going to be a tight fit, so I would do them one at a time. There you go. And what we want to do is have a space there in the middle in the hole so the bolt would fit. And if it doesn't, I'll show you an old 3D printer trick where we take shaft of the Phillips head screwdriver and just wiggle it around. Okay? There you go. And we'll take a washer onto the bolt. Stick it there like that. Another washer and the nut. Okay. And what we'll do to tighten it, I take a couple of wrenches here. Oops, sorry. Like so. Okay, so now we'll take our M5s and loosely screw the T-slot nuts. Just a thread, because we're going to need to install that in here and we need some space there. Now you can always loosen it if you did do it too tight, so it shouldn't be a problem. Just like that. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll take a ruler and sorry about that, we were having camera problems, but let's pick up where I left off. Okay, so our two 300 aluminum extrusions, we're going to measure them halfway, so we're going to measure 150. There you go. So now we'll take see, and if it's tight, just loosen it. Just like so, and we'll take it and center it where our lines, where we marked our lines, halfway point. Okay, so you look at the center point of the bearings and you align it to that light, to that mark right there, and just tighten your screws just a little bit, but not too tight, just so the T-slot nuts doesn't fall off. Okay, and now we'll take the T-slot nuts and put one on each side. Of course, flat side up. It's really the only way it'll go in there. So, and there like that. And there you go. Easy. Okay, so now we'll work on the Y rod mounts, and what these are for the smooth rod, and it'll go in like that. Okay, so we have 2 printed parts, and what we'll need are 4 of each hex head M5s with a washer, so 4 washer, 4 hex 5s, or excuse me, hex head M5s, and 4 T-slot nuts. Okay, so I've already done one. It's going to look like this, and I've already done the other one, and let's just finish it with this. So you put it inside like that, and the T-slot nuts like that. Okay, and again, just loosely. You should be getting used to that by now. So what we'll do is we'll install it on each end like this. So it will look like that. Okay? And that's why we need to loosen this, or not make it tight, so that these would fit. You have some, flexibility with the extrusions here. Just like that. There you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is install this in our assembly. So what we're going to do is just push this in all the way in, like that, and we'll take it. And remember, I'm going to put my electronics in the back, and this is going in the front. Okay, this is how we do it because it's less hazardous and aesthetically pleasing. So we're going to need 8 M5 screws with a Phillips head, and we're going to screw on the side. Put these T-slot nuts in there, so just slide them over to the side so it's aligned to the hole. And we're going to attach that with an M5 screw. There you go. And you just do the same exact thing on this side. Okay, so now we're going to work on the back, and we're going to work on the Y motor mount with the Y rod mounts. Okay, so just like the front, we need 2 300 aluminum extrusions, the printed parts, the motor, 2 of the wire rod mounts with the clamps, 4 hex head M5s with the washers, 2 of the M3s with the washers, and 2 of the M5 Phillips heads, and actually 8 T-slap nuts, and 2 M3 nuts. Okay, so I already put one in there because it's pretty tricky. Okay, it's in there. You're going to need to put this inside of the here. So I put one in, and I'm going to work on that. So it's going to look like this. Okay? So we'll take the M5, and we'll take the, the clamp, like that. The hex head, M5. I'm going to screw it in, and we'll do it one at a time. It's easier that way. Okay. Now this is tricky, putting this in there. Now I have a magnetized Allen head, so Allen screw. Allen wrench, excuse me. And that makes it easier for me to put it in there. But it's still tricky. Most of the time it works, but if it doesn't, I'll show you a good old 3D printer trick. Where's my magnet? Here it is. Take the magnet and just wiggle it around. See? That was easy. Just take a magnet and just wiggle it around. It'll get there. So we'll do the same thing there with a M5 at hex set. Just tighten that. And just make sure you're catching that. You might need to hold it inside so it's actually screwing it in. Okay, you need to keep your eye on that. Okay, so we'll take the other 2 hex heads and screw them inside out with the T-slap nuts outside. Okay, so those 2 are done, and we're going to do the motor mount. So this needs to go in there like this.